Title summarizes everything. On mobile, English is not my first language. I will try to keep this short, but it's still long. Me 33 meters, and wife, 34 meters, have been married for 11 years. We have one kid, 6F. We have a big house. She earns more than I do, but generally we are very stable financially. Our marriage has been good with normal ups and downs up until the beginning of last month. My new job, which I had gotten after I was fired from my first job when the pandemic hit, requires me to travel a lot. My wife was happy as she had started complaining when she saw like she's the only one working and I was doing nothing to look for a new job. I had been gone for 2 weeks and this was the first time I was out of town for the job. I got lucky and got to go home 3 days early. I dropped by at a friend's house to pick up some flowers, to surprise my wife. He is a florist, only to find my wife in the kitchen putting her clothes back on and my friend zipping his pants. My heart dropped and I felt like fainting. I couldn't see and I felt like throwing up. I took out my phone and takes a few photos. I get back to my car, leave and book a hotel room a few miles away. I text my wife and tell her that I won't be home in another week due to work. Cheating has always been a deal breaker for me. I know what it can do to people as my brother has been cheated on severally and it totally broke him. I call him, tell him everything. He is very supportive. We call his lawyer and files for the divorce. A week later my wife is served. My phone blows up with texts and calls. She denies cheating. I sent her the proof and I hang up the phone. She asks me to come home and talk. I sent the photos to my parents and her parents so that she doesn't spin the story. Switch off my phone and I decide to use my work phone. I switch it back on 2 days later and my phone is spamming with texts and calls from friends and family. I talk to my mom who asks me to go check up on my daughter. I get home and my wife gets on her knees crying, begging, sobbing, asking for forgiveness and another chance. She was a mess, and looked like someone who haven't had sleep in a long time. I was having none of it and I packed her shit up and kicked her out of my house. Called her parents to come pick her up. She spends the whole day at my door crying, asking me to open the door so that we could talk. My parents pick my daughter up school and stay with her for the next few days. For the next few weeks my wife tried to talk to me. She would show up at my work, found her at the door in the morning before I left for work and before I came back home. Asking her friends to try speak to me. Somehow convinced my parents to take her side, asked me to at least try to talk to her. Her parents even came and asked to talk to her, that she's not good. At other times she came with her friends to try to talk to me. I was adamant that I didn't want to talk anything about the cheating or reconciliation. All I wanted to talk about was the divorce. Anyway, it all stopped for a few days before I got a call from my mom telling me that my wife tried to commit suicide. She was in the hospital. Mom asked if I could go check on her since she tried to commit suicide because of me. I get to the hospital and her parents won't let me see her, especially her mother, who looked at me with cold eyes. Most of her friends and family blamed me. The nurse talks to them since my wife kept asking if I came to check on her. I go in and she immediately starts crying. I felt guilty and sorry for her. She apologized profusely. She said that she didn't want to lose me and if I wasn't in her life then her life is meaningless. She said that the affair was the most stupid and selfish she ever made. They had been having an emotional affair for a week leading up to me leaving. And turned physical when I left. It's been a 2 weeks since it happened. I told her to give me time to think about it. And I have been numb the whole time. She got released and is staying with her parents. And I am regularly checking on her. I don't know what I'm looking for. I guess this is just a rant. Comment 1. Well, first off, this sub isn't for ranting. Second, someone else's attempt on their life can never be blamed on someone else. If a consequence to her own behavior is this, then she has to deal with that. Thirdly, what the duck? Why are the both of you putting your innocent child through this? Get your kid and leave her out of the drama with your wife and her parents. How would you have gotten a flower arrangement if you didn't ask for one? Why was this non-existent arrangement at this dude's house? How did you get in? Why would you turn your phone off when you have a child? Why would you send a photo of your wife cheating on you to your own mother and then just turn your phone off for 2 days? This isn't very believable. Comment 2. Brother, first, if she tried to commit suicide because she wants to guilt-trap you. It's been seen many times, mate. Don't let anyone play with your self-respect and dignity. Comment 3. Hey man, I know what you're going through. I know how shitty that feeling in your chest is. How hopeless and long the road to feeling better about yourself is. There's no shortcuts. Just lots of work. Mine ended very similarly with kids involved too. I often struggle with moving on. I don't think I'll ever accept it. I don't think I need to. It's grief and it will always be there. In a way it helps me learn from the BS and protect myself in the future. It's forced me for the first time to prioritize my needs. Not something I'm used to doing. It has helped me meet the most wonderful women of my life. It's so hard getting to spot where you are not acting jaded about relationships. Where you can be a positive influence on someone else's life. Understand that her actions have no determination on your self-worth. Love yourself, brother, you deserve it. Comment 4. You don't have to convince me. Unfortunately, I wish I could say that I haven't seen/heard of similar cases, but tragically it's not true. There is so much ducked up shit happening in this world, it really makes you question everything. Comment 5. Fake story. I got lucky and got to go home 3 days early. I dropped by at a friend's house to pick up some flowers, to surprise my wife. He is a florist, only to find my wife in the kitchen putting her clothes back on and my friend zipping his pants. So we're supposed to believe that you didn't tell your wife you were coming home early. That you didn't tell your friend that you were coming over to get flowers. That your friend is okay with you just waltzing into your friend's house without a text, a call, a doorbell ring, a knock, or anything whatsoever. That nobody heard you wander into your friend's house and you were somehow able to secretly get pictures of your wife. Please. Get a ducking hobby because you suck at this. Comment 6. Not your fault on the suicide thing. It's a pity move to pull you back. Only you can decide if you want to salvage things or not. You aren't wrong to leave or stay. You gotta decide what you want out of it. Comment 7. I think you are totally in the right. It's one thing to cheat on a stranger, it's another thing to cheat on a friend of yours. Go through with the divorce. You are no longer responsible for her. Don't let them guilt trip you into continuing this dead marriage. It will happen again. Comment 8. As someone who is new to Reddit, can somebody please tell me why people fake shit like this? I'm not trying to say this isn't fake, I'm just genuinely curious why people do this. Is it just for attention? I don't get it, lol, makes no sense to me. Comment 9. A good percentage of them are boredom. A number of others have an agenda. There are a lot of people who try to prove certain things about certain genders, or reinforce certain gender stereotypes by posting on these subs. Comment 10. The welfare of children should always come first when a couple is splitting up. At this point your wife is merely tolerating your existence. She does not respect you, and she has taken your dignity and self-worth away from you. You mentioned that her previous husband was abusive to her. Did you ever verify that fact? Right now it looks to me that she was a divorced woman with 4 kids, and when she met you, bells and whistles went off in her head like a Las Vegas slot machine. Most likely in 2 or 3 years your ex will be knocking on your door to beg and plead with you to take her back. She will tell you how much she loves you and misses you, and that she made a horrible mistake. When that happens, just wish her and close the door. Comment 11. You don't have to convince me. Unfortunately, I wish I could say that I haven't seen/heard of similar cases, but tragically it's not true. There is so much ducked up shit happening in this world, it really makes you question everything. Comment 12. Is she taking her 4 kids with her? She shouldn't get to live a single life while you take care of all the kids. It will just be easier for her to be irresponsible. Hold her accountable for everything here on out and think of her now as a business breakup. Get everything in writing and stick to the agreements put in place. She wants to switch weekends because her new boy toy wants to take her on holiday. Nope. She wants you to drop them off earlier/later on holidays. Nope. She doesn't think it fair that you aren't being more accommodating to her. Too bad. She's making poor decisions because of how she feels, not thinking rationally. Let's be honest, the only men she can get now are hookups and users. No man of quality will take her and her 5 kids on and provide the life that you did with her. She will grow old alone, my man. Good luck up. Comment 13. I'm sorry what you are going through. No one deserves any of this. Not great that it's a great thing to experience, but I think you're lucky she agreed to end the marriage and got an apartment so fast. My WS is similar to your WS, except he won't move out. He wants us to stay married and is making life really difficult. He guilts me, he's apologizing 1 second and making dinner and cleaning house and taking the kids to the park. The next he's ignoring me and slamming doors. He wants me to join him for counseling, then he blames me for not wanting to try anymore. It's a really messed up roller coaster. I just want off. Comment 14. It's very likely all her AP wanted was time. She's about to learn her options have run out. 38 is pretty old, she's probably already hit the wall. You on the other hand, you have a good future and there will be tons of great people who will love you. Take some time for yourself and try out some new hobbies. Make some new friends and go on new adventures. Go live your life to the fullest, my friend. You are now free. Thanks you for watching Everyday New Movies. See you soon.